Hey guys, welcome back to another Misfortune episode. This is Lex the Gray. We're continuing the Misfortune legacy, and where we left off last time was the Watcher was right here at this corridor entrance. As he opened the door, it revealed a hallway with two spiders that started to bolt at the Watcher. So I have this ready. Before we start, I want to show that Table Fables finally came in, number two, Table Fables 2. And this thing is so much has so much more content on top of the previous book. So this is pretty much going to become my driver for this episode. It has 10 chapters, and there's so much more content to skim through. So I've already looked through it just to get a little idea of what it has, and we'll definitely use it for content. Okay, I have the stats here for the spiders. Two of them, they have an armor of 6, which is standard. They have a low HP of 4, and then the usual 2d6 for standard combat. Let's roll for initiative. I'm gonna re-roll this. I think I did. I don't remember if I did last time, but it felt fresh. So it looks like we go first with even without dexterity considered. So they have 8. We have 11. Okay, so we'll go ahead and try to attack the first spider here. So let's do an attack roll. They're 2d6. Their armor is 6. We got to roll higher than a 6, and with our attack bonus at +1. That's going to be 10, 11. So that's the first spider squished, done. That's a difference of 5. So the first spider's out. So spider number 2 attacks with the Watcher. Okay, 2d6 hit die. 10, which is going to be a bite. It does hit us. We take, I think, 2 damage, which is not good because we have very low health in this game. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, so we'll have to think of something quick for the Watcher. Next is going to be the Watcher. You know, one hit KO from prior. We rolled a 4 plus our attack bonus of 5, which is not good. Armor of 6 saves him. Okay. Now it's the spider's turn. The remaining spider. He has an 8, which is not good. That's a block. That's right on our armor. Okay. Hopefully this will be the finishing blow, and that is. So +1 attack bonus. That's going to be uh, 12. And whichever weapon I use, the fire spear, +1 damage. So 12, yeah, it's annihilated. So it catches on fire and burns to the ground. Now, this encounter is done, so we'll put this to the side. And we're looking down a pretty grim-looking hallway with spider webs and cobwebs all over the place. And there's only those two spiders that we ran into. So we're gonna slowly walk, and I'm gonna burn the spider webs all the way through the hallway. So we'll roll for that. I'm going to say a very low difficulty of 6. This will be just we'll do willpower. Yeah, so easily burns the entire spider web. And as it's burning, the fire turns to the right past our sight. And I want to roll to see if there's any spiders down this hall. I'm going to say 50-50 chance. So we'll grab our dice, Oracle dice, and I'm going to say 50% chance, which is going to be the Mythic. That's going to be 11 up to 50. So it works similar to my other Oracle. Whoops. So 98. There's definitely no spiders whatsoever down that hall. And that's an exceptional no. So with that in mind, the fire burns and we don't hear any like screeching or other spiders catching on fire, no damage taken because there is no other spiders narratively behind us out of sight of the Watcher. Okay, so the Watcher is now going down the hallway and he's going to see if there's any loot down this hall. Is there any loot? I'm going to say 50-50 on this one. And there's not. So 97. It's a clean hallway. So he's walking down. It turns to the right, and like I said, the fire burnt out the spider webs. Now, do we have any medication or anything to heal? We don't. We're 3 out of 6. So let's pull up our dungeon. I want to try out the Fables, table Fables. So let's go to our dungeon chapter, which will be chapter 6. That's 57, 60, 64. Page 64 is dungeon encounters. So here is the dungeon page. Dungeon interior, dungeon rooms. It's really great. It has a lot of material. So area contents. Let's roll for this. So this dungeon, this corridor we're in right here, below the sphere, we're gonna roll a d20 for this one based on the book and see what we're gonna get. A 4. Nothing. It's empty. Okay, so that's empty. Let's see. Okay, I'm just looking at the rest of it. So it's empty. We're now walking here, and we turn to the left. We're now facing a. Forgot to put a door right here. There's a door right there, and let's see if the door's locked, which most likely it is. So 75% chance it's locked. Yep, it is. That's a solid yes. So we come up to the door, and is it a wooden door? Let's see. 60% chance it's a wooden door. It is not. It's an iron door. So it's like kind of like a prison door. But it does have like a bars. There is a hole in it, so you can see through. And what our guy here sees is a huge dormant death claw spider. So it's basically a gigantic spider. I'll just draw a really generic spider here. And it's at the moment it's sleeping. It's dormant. It's not, and it's hanging off the ceiling with like a with one of its webs. So based on the other picture we drew here, let me get another note card. So I want to use this one for combat. But like I mentioned before, I like to use these visuals so you guys can see it besides the little notebook I have on the table here. This room, the spider is basically hanging off the ceiling, and the ceiling is kind of like an arch, and it's just this gigantic, death-looking spider with its 8 legs hanging off like that. Very, very um, has like thousands of eyes, or has hundreds of eyes on it. They're all closed. I'm thinking like Helsing, where I think it's Helsing with Alucard when he is in his form that his ultimate form, his final form, its true form, I guess, with all the souls. You see all the eyes; it's all red. That's kind of what this looks like. So here's the floor. The spider's probably 6 feet up. So that's what we can see through the the prison door. The door looks like this. It just has those bars, and there's a handle right here that has a lock in it. So this creature is locked up for a reason, and the Watcher is wondering if this creature is obviously evil or not. We just killed the 2 little tiny spin-off spiders, but we'll definitely keep the encounter card close by because that spider is definitely going to be a 3d6 villain. Now we got to pick the lock. So, because the spear, the holy spear, that's our quest item, it's glowing like crazy right now. And if we look closely, if he can see it, I'm going to say there's something beneath the spider or behind it, directly behind it, on top of a pedestal of sorts, like a bunch of spider eggs right here, like that, just a bunch of rocks I'm gonna say rocks, just a pile of rocks. Remember, there's spider cobwebs everywhere. This whole room is just littered with cobwebs and spider webs. But this is the only, at least this is what you can see. So what we're drawing narratively is the actual world setting for this room. It's up to the watcher to see on his will throw to see what he can truly spot through the the barn, those the prison door. So there is a claw like this, not a skeleton claw. But it is a certain material that can hold something, and it has these little grips on it. So it's kind of like a hand, but it has four fingers on it. So it's behind the spider. And now let's roll to see if the watcher can see most of these details. So I'm going to do a difficulty of 8 because we didn't really draw out the conditions of the room. Let's use table fable for this. So the lighting of the room. Oh, you know what? We won't need to. My brain's on autopilot. My brain's on. It's working right now. So there's a ceiling. There's ceiling light peeking through the top of the ceiling somehow. So there's glows of light coming from the ceiling, and also the spider, this giant death claw spider, also emits a certain red glow, so you can see ambient light from all around. So let's roll a difficulty of 8. If the watcher can see, oh well, we rolled a 8 and a plus 1, 9. So the watcher can see the spider clearly, the glow. He can also see part of the stone pedestal here with the claw, whatever this claw is for him, for his opinion. He can see cobwebs and spider webs kind of all around the exterior of the room, the interior of the room, and but doesn't see the floor. So this is very concerning for the watcher. Now the watcher's gonna try to pick the lock because he thinks that he sees there's a glow being emitted from this claw here, and he's really interested in getting it because he believes it completes the Holy. Well, it doesn't complete the Holy Spirit, but it's another piece of the puzzle for the Holy Spirit to. This is like a basically on like a module for the spear. You connect it, and it can hold something in it. It snaps right on the top with easy access. So uh, let's do a lock pick. He has 3 lock picks currently. I don't recall if I used any before this, but we need to do will. This will be will plus 1. I'm going to do difficulty of. I'm going to do 8. Okay, so he failed the first time. That's a six, that's 5 plus the 1, 6. So he breaks 1 lock pick. That's down to 2. Okay, we'll do it once more. He's going to try again. Okay. His spear is glowing even more now. The aura there's emanating a lot more light. So he's trying to set the spear to the side a little bit so it doesn't give away his presence. We'll do difficulty of 8 again. And 6, 7, he can't. He breaks his second to last pick. This is concerning. He has one more pick left, and I think he's going to try it once more. So we're really going to get some good shake on these dice here. So same difficulty. 5, 6, 7, 8. He just gets it. So on the last pick he has, which we'll erase it now from the items. The pick snaps. I set a slightly lower difficulty, but I do sacrifice his picks each time because this is like the fun. This is a boss portion of this dungeon. So the lock breaks, but the lock. I'm sorry, the pick breaks, but the lock does open, doesn't lock. So you hear a click, and you can hear it kind of echo through the chamber where this gigantic deathclaw spider is. Does that click sound wake up the spider? I'm going to say if he's dormant, I'm going to say 10% chance. It'd be really bad if it does. I'm trying to really give this a lot of shape. Look how close I was at 10. 16. So it does not wake up the spider. Though the spider itself does move a little bit. Not wind, but like it's kind of like just kind of shifting around a bit. Its eyes are still like its thousands of eyes are still closed. So big deep breath from the watcher here because that was close. Okay, so he's going to put his hand on the handle. and see if it's a push or pull door. 50% chance. Is it a push door? I don't think it entirely matters, but it is a push door. Okay, so he's gonna push it slowly. We'll have to do a kind of a dexterity here, or a will check to see if it does it creak. I guess this would be more of a question for the oracle. Um, does the door creak, make a noise when it opens? I'm gonna say 50-50 on this one. It does. Oh shoot. So 35 is that's like an average yes. It squeaks a little bit. He opens it, starts to squeak. He doesn't really have a choice. He's gonna open it a little. I mean, we don't have any like grease or anything on us. He's gonna open the door halfway just so he can fit through. Does that? We're gonna roll a dexterity now to see if that can prevent the noise from waking up the spider. We'll do difficulty of 8. 4, 5, 6. It's not good enough. So the noise when he opens the push door, because it's a push door, he hits something on the other side of the door on the ground. Don't know if it's a rock or an egg or a object or a bone like a femur or something from a prior dead adventurer, but he hits something and it makes another echo to the chamber. Now we'll roll again. Does this wake up the spider? I'm going to say 20% chance. I'm going to raise that up from 10 from prior. Okay, so it does not. 64. That's still a wide range, wide window for no. It does not wake up the spider. The spider doesn't do anything because 64 is so far from the yes threshold. It doesn't do anything. So he got lucky there. He's going to peek in to see if he spots anything around the floor. Does he see anything? Is there any loot on the ground or like anything in the room? I'm going to say there's bodies, there's bones scattered. There's probably some loot, some pouches and some weapons, some like broken swords, arrows, stuff to battle a giant killer spider. So, but now that he's in the room, the spear is glowing even more now, but it's not emitting a pulse. It's a solid red glow. And the claw in the back of the room, behind the spider, of course, is a solid red glow now. It's not pulsating anymore. It's just a solid red glow of light. And the spider is still giving off a aura of red. Now, what the watcher needs to do is see if there's any other ways out. And what he sees, let's do it. Let's do a check to see if he can spot it and exit. Let's roll. I have my dice mixed up here. Does he? Let's do a difficulty of 8. I think 8's been the average for this room in general, plus the 1 for willpower. Oh, okay, he just gets it. So 7, 8 with the bonus, with the modifier. So he sees there's actually a crawl space just behind the right here. It's like a sewage drain. It's right here. It has some pipes. You can barely see it behind the stack of rocks, the pedestal for the claw. So he's going to look behind the door to see if he spots any other enemies, and I'm going to say there's a low chance there's any other spiders, but I'm going to say there's eggs, but 10% chance are there any other spiders in the room? It's 18. There's not, but there's eggs because that's close to yes. So there are baby there's spider eggs all over on the floor to the right. So I'm going to say they're right here. So here's the claw, and then there's an exit. There's a sewer drain, something right here, and then there's the claw is right there. There's some spider eggs right here. Okay, so we still have two. He still sees the two doors on the left and right, but that's not exactly on his mind right now because he got lucky spotting this little this convenient tower right here. So he's gonna slowly walk on the outside of against the wall to the other side. So we'll roll dexterity to see if he can make it to the other side without messing up. This will be dexterity. I'm going to do difficulty. I'm going to do a slightly higher difficulty this time of 10. I will regret this, I think. Here we go. And yeah, so 4 plus a 2, that's a 6. Unfortunately, as he gets to the other side, um, he bumps into a body part, like a torso of a recently deceased adventurer, and doesn't trip. Like he's been tripping a lot in the past few episodes. But he doesn't trip. He hits it, and then the adventurer's helmet pops off the head and bounces on the floor. And so as it does that, that's a pretty loud noise. Now, does this wake up the spider? I'm going to say 30% chance. I keep raising the threshold. I really want to give this a good shake. 66. So 69. Okay, so that is very, very lucky. It did cause a noise, but 69, I gotta stick to the oracle here. It does not wake up the spider. He is very, very lucky right now. So, but he did see the what? He does see. Does the dead corpse have a weapon on him worth taking to loot? Something quick, like a dagger. You know what? Here's a question for the oracle. Does this corpse have any loot on him in general? I'm gonna say 75% chance. He does, 61. So he's rummaging through this really quick, just checking it like he has a satchel or something, a pouch. Let's check the fables here. So let's go to dungeon chapter 6. This will be page 60. I think the dungeon one has a separate page for items. If not, we'll go back. Loot type 46. Let's check 57 first. So dungeon. Okay, so I think I thought for a second there was loot in the dungeon. If not, I'm mistaken. There's plenty of dungeon encounters. So I'm going to use this book for another video if I do a one shot in an actual dungeon that is the entire adventure. But it does not. So we're going to have to go to loop type. So we use a percentile, which we have. And then, so hoping for a potion, 10. 10's pocket filler. Pocket filler will be a D20. Okay. Pocket filler 13. He finds a pot of war paint. Okay. So he ignores that. Let's roll for something else. Let's say he has another item in there. 63, which is going to be armor. Oh, that's good. So page 51 is armor. Okay. Armor. Looks like we have uh, a D8 for armor. So I'll grab that right now. Roll it. Ooh, wow. 8. That's scale armor. That is huge. Okay, so if this guy wakes up, we now have scale armor to ready ourselves. And that's all I'm going to give through that little loot. So let's put on the scale armor. I'm going to say that's a +2 on armor. So we're adding another one because the light armor we're de-equipping it. So now we're up to a 9, I think, with the shield. Yeah, so we have a shield that's 3 over the average of 6. Yep, we're good. Okay, so and I'm also going to say he finds a dagger. He puts on his belt. Does he find anything else? Let's finish it off as he's looting this body. Let's say 15% chance. I'll make a low. I don't want to give him too much benefit. 20. Yep, nothing. Okay, so he finds nothing else. I'll throw in a dagger in there for him. Okay, so luckily the spider's not alive. He walks up to the stone pile with the claw, and the claw is starting to shake as he gets close to it, almost like it wants to pick up his spear. The holy spear is also shaking very violently, and he lowers it to almost kind of touch the claw, and the claw snaps onto it really quick, like thud, like a clings right on. And as it snaps to it, I'm going to say the holy spear has a claw attachment now. The glow stops emitting, and now it's just It's just an item. There's no magical interface with it. It's just no glow, nothing's happening to it. It's just solid item. That's it. So he picks a claw up. He's right here, roughly. Very demented looking drawing. The claw's gone. And as he picks the claw up, does the spider wake up? I'm going to say that claw, 75% chance it does. And 84, it does not wake up. But because that was close, there's a couple of there's a couple of hatch spiders that wake up that are pop out of the eggs right here in the corner and see the watcher let's say there's two of them pop out and they start running around at the watcher. So let's roll for initiative. We have another encounter. We'll do a new list here. Because these are fresh spiders off the grill, we'll say that spider one, spider two, that. Oh yeah, and also I want to try a combat mechanic from Karen where you roll. If there's two or more enemies, you roll for the entire group and choose the highest roll. So let's do health because they're fresh. I'm going to lower their armor to 5 per, and their HP will be down to 4 again. So as they're running, he is kind of hurt. Like we have 3 out of 6. Again, this game is very Maze Rats is very unapologetic when it comes to health count. So he quickly looks at little the little crawl space that's probably 2 or 3 feet high, and there are bars missing, so he could fit through. So he's going to try to dive in there. An old man, so Gandalf the Grey looking dude, is going to get on his knees and crawl through. So we'll do dexterity. I'm going to say 6. I'm going to give this to him. I don't want to hold his hand too much, but as the spiders are running at him, 5 plus dexterity of 2, so that's 6, 7. He makes it through the um, the hole, and then I think the bone compass he has. Oh, I forgot about the bone compass, but we did reach the room. He's hiding in here, and let's roll to see if there's a way out of this dungeon through this crawl space, or at least from out of this room. Let's say 50-50. Oh, wow, there is. Okay, so there's an easy way out. As he is crawling through, the spiders are still chasing him, but then there's a drop. So it drops down a level. So basically, here's what I'm thinking. As he's crawling through, there's a slide. It drops down to the bottom right here. And so he's going to be, it makes a hard left from our perspective, goes this way. Sorry, our hard right. So he crawls through. There's a turn, just for the sake of the map. There's a turn right here. He slides down. I'll kind of put like a little arrow, and he lands onto the bottom. Now, is there a headspace? I'm going to say, is this just like some kind of crawling corridor, or is there headspace to stand up? I'm going to say 60% chance. There is. Okay, so he can stand up. So there is a room to stand. Okay, so we'll put this away. Do the spiders follow him? I'm going to say 75% chance. They do. Yeah, they do. Yep, they do. Okay, so it's a chase. So as he's down this hall, let's get details on this hallway because I'm thinking it's really it's wet. There's water on the floor, puddles. It's smelly. It's terrible. So he's gonna run down this hall right here, and let's roll for dexterity to see if he can make it away from the spiders because they lunge down, they slide down that little Six Flags ride and hit the bottom, and as they bash into the wall, they're clumsy, they're newborns. So let's see if he can avoid them. I'm gonna say 6 because they're pretty far back. Yeah, so 6 even without the modifier, which is 8. So he evades them, and then there's gonna be another room here at the bottom that also connects. It's a pretty big room too. That also connects with the giant spider's chamber, and there's a stairwell going up. So this is another pathway which he's not going to worry about. He sees that there's a stairwell right here, climbing up, and he runs up the stairs and hides behind the wall. Luckily, his spear, the fire spear's out, so it's no longer a fire spear. That's just a regular spear, but that does lower the original spear back to a non-modified one. There we go. We'll fix that one. Okay. Weapon-wise, he still has a longbow, a dagger, and the holy spear is not a weapon to use. So let's fix that. Plus one. There we go. Forgot the modifier. Okay. And as he is standing in this hallway, we're going to see if the spiders run right past him, like complete idiots. I'm going to say 80% chance they do. They're just running. Yep, they do. Okay, so they run past the hall. They run past him. He's able to sneak and hide as they run past him into whatever is down here. So there is a door right here, right to his right, and he sees that it's a wooden door, and there's a sign on it in a different language. So I'm gonna roll to see if he knows the language itself. Let's roll to see if he knows the language. I'm gonna say 10, pretty high difficulty. +2, +1 on willpower. He doesn't. He doesn't recognize it. It's in some ancient writing. We have bonus of 1, so that was a 7. He doesn't recognize the writing at all. So he's standing at the door, but there is no handle. It's a push door, but the door's like this. It's wood, so there's gonna be you have the usual lines, but there's a basically a push a piece of wood right here that's kind of elevated off the platform, off the face of the door. So he's gonna put his hand on it, and he knows it's very worn for some reason. So he pushes the door. He looks through as it cracks open, and there's a bunch of green light that comes out shining. And so he opens it more, and it feels very soothing to him. So as he opens the door up completely, this green light fills the air, and there's a tree inside, like a huge tree with sunlight coming through the top of the ceiling. So I'm gonna draw the this room here from a side view so you guys can see it. So basically, this is the room right here. There's a huge tree. I shouldn't say a huge tree, like a miniature oak tree or whatever other type of tree there is. And it has these like little apples growing. It's an apple tree. It's growing these little red apples or green apples, kind of like this. And it's just this random tree growing inside the interior. And the room is just kind of gray with green. The tree is glowing green. It's giving off a very nice, comforting aura. There's the tree. And then he's right here. That's the doorway. And there's another door on the other side with the stairwell kind of going this way towards us, perspective wise, the stairs. So that's that room right there. And as he's walking closer to it, he feels refreshed. So I'm gonna get he heals one HP like that. And as he gets under the tree, he grabs an apple and eats it. And as he eats it, it heals D4. It heals D4. 3. So we'll give him 5, 6, 7. We'll give him a boost, temporary health boost. But once this dungeon's over, it will reset if he survives. So right now he's at 7. He's in the apple. It's very good. But while he's enjoying himself as he's getting this free food, something happens. So let's go to chapter 6, which is the dungeon. and we'll do an encounter, or we'll do an event. It won't be an encounter yet. We won't know yet. But this is right here, the usual D20. It's at the bottom of the page. 18. 18 is an event or encounter. Page 64. Event or encounter. So we have a huge list. That's why I love this book. There's 100 choices. Well, yeah, it looks like there is 100 choices. Okay, so let's roll the D100 and see what happens as he's just innocently eating this this apple. Okay, 37. 37 is going to be the characters, plural, see a pair of monsters hauling away an injured man. Okay, interesting. I'll interpret that. The characters see a pair of monsters hauling away an injured man. Well, we've been running into spiders mostly, but that's previous to the corridor, the large chamber room, and then the other corridor. So how would that line up narratively with we've been? Is it a vision? I don't know how to perceive this one. So as he's eating the apples, oh, you know what? I know. Oh, that does actually kind of make sense from earlier. Because we fought that spirit outside the dungeon entrance of around the pond. So he sees two spirits, not monsters, two spirits, haul carrying someone who looks injured this way through this path. And there is a door, and they look like they don't look like military like soldiers, but they look like knights that are carrying someone, dragging them by their feet. And the spirits ignore us. They like come out of the tree. They continue walking. They go towards the door. They go towards this door, and they phase right through it. And the watcher kind of looks around the tree. He's like, "Oh, that's very odd." So he's gonna walk towards this door here, and then this is the same kind of door from before. It's a kind of wooden it's a wooden push door. So he pushes it open, and it's a tall stairwell going all the way up for like a few flights of stairs. He's walking up, and then as he gets to the very top of the stairwell, there's another door, but this door has a lock on it. So let's roll to see if it's locked. I'm going to say, and the spirits, as he's walking up the stairs, he sees the two spirits carrying the body through the door. So he's basically following the spirits. Is the door locked? 50-50. It is. Yep, it's pretty locked. Okay, so he uh he doesn't have any lock picks. That's evident. So he can't. He's going to try to open. He shakes the handle. It's locked. He can't go through it by normal means. But is it a wooden door? I'm going to say 70% chance it is. It's a wooden door. Okay, so maybe you can break it down. There's a handle. So he's used his dagger to try to pry off the handle itself. So we'll do a strength check with this one. I'll do a difficulty of 6. Yeah. Oh yeah. Easily. That's an unnatural 12. Okay. So he breaks off the handle with the dagger. The handle pops off, bounces down the stairwell, looks back, make sure there's no one down there, and as he looks back, the handle lands on the bottom floor and just stops. And there's an eerie silence coming from the keyhole where the handle was. And he hears voices, like muttering, but it's kind of distorted, and it's in a language he doesn't understand. Perhaps it's a similar language to what he saw the writing on the wall on the door from earlier. And no, there was no writing on this other door, on the exterior. There could be writing on the behind the door, but he hasn't looked yet. So he looks through the keyhole, kind of bends down, looks through, he's looking through, and what he sees is this. Let's grab another card. As he's looking through the keyhole of where like the busted lock is, so there's some There's some busted parts on the key, the lock itself. As he's looking through this handle here on the door, he sees a table like this. It's a big dining table, and there's chairs. There's two chairs like this. There's one chair toppled over like that on the floor. There's plates. There's some loose dishes. There's cups on the floor, and he sees a shelf behind this table like that. So strangely enough, it looks like some kind of, well, just another room. So here's the room size. It's a small square that connects to the deadly hallway with the missing floor tiles, and there's also a door here. But there's a desk right here in the middle, and there's shelving behind the this table with those two chairs, like I said, and then this one toppled over chair. And as he's looking through, he sees these two spirits, these ghostly looking knights, walk in and sit down at the table. And the third person they were dragging is gone. So we're going based off the oracle, what I asked. So they sit down and they kind of start acting like they're eating. I'm not gonna roll for this. I'm gonna give this to the watcher. He can see like they're eating some food. Like there's no food there. Their hands are moving, and these spirits are like they're dead. They're knights, but they have like they kind of look like skeletons. Like if you think Army of Darkness, where Bruce Campbell's other evil half comes to life, and after being like mauled and destroyed, his body is disfigured, and there's like muscle showing, skeleton parts of him. That's how they look. Like they look like, or even one of the dead characters from the Ghostbusters original movies. So that's how they look. But they have armor on, they have helmets on, they have full on plate armor, they have their weapons on the table, and they're mimicking like they're eating. So this is a tough spot for the watcher. He's not too sure what to do right now because if he opens the door, they could interact with him. But from earlier, they ignored him. The spirits, I forgot to mention, walked right through him. So he felt. So when he was, I'm kind of retconning the story here. When he was eating the apple, the spirits walked through him, ignore him, and they kind of continued on walking up the stairs. So this could be like a spiritual replay of history where he's witnessing a loop of these spirits that never really truly got buried wherever their original dead bodies are. They keep doing the same thing over and over and over. So with that in mind, he's thinking like maybe they won't interact with him. He opens the door slowly, knowing maybe the spirits won't interact with him. And as he enters the room, he's so let's draw out the room. He's going to be like I said. Here's the table. The two spirits are sitting right here. There's a toppled over chair. And as he opens the door, he's standing right here. There's like an overhead view. There's the two spirits. There's the shelf, and here's the side door to that hallway with the missing tiles. There is a body. There's a body right here. It's an actual dead body, but that's all he sees. There's nothing else in the room. It's just actually, I'm gonna say there's a chest right here. It's a nice looking locked chest, and there's gonna be some barrels right here, and that's it. So as he opens the door, do the spirits interact with him? I'm gonna say 30% chance they do. They don't. They continue eating, and as he's looking at them, they fade away. They just disappear. The body still there. It's an actual dead body. He looks at the body. It's just a skeleton with clothes on, like casual commoner clothes. He's gonna try to loot it. So let's put him here. He loots the dead body. Let's see what he finds. Okay. Again, I really like using this book for loot. That's obvious. So D100 for type of loot. We have 35 will be tools, page 55. Okay. Tools will be a D20 with that. Okay. Whoops. That was a 5. He finds a pick. That is coincidence. Let's add a pick to his. That's a lock pick, so we can bring that back. So there's one lock pick. Okay, so one lock pick. There we go. And does he find anything else? Let's say 10% chance. He doesn't. That's a 99. He'll definitely, and indeed, he does not find anything else. Okay, so he finds that pick. He turns around and he sees that war chest. So he's gonna walk up to it. It's a golden lock. It's a very nice looking lock. Now, uh, it requires a key, which he doesn't have. He looks around the room. He walks up to the barrels. Doesn't see anything in the barrels. They're both empty. Maybe one of them has a really old Yale in it. Yale. There's a Yale degree. He looks on the shelves and he sees there's like pots, pans, there's cups, there's utensils, wooden utensils, there's some paper, books, blah blah blah. But he sees a little tiny locket, like a little case. And the case, he opens it, and there's actually it's a, it is a key, but it's a skeleton key. So he takes a skeleton key. We'll add that to our inventory. And I'm thinking it actually looks like a hand with the keys actually the finger, the pointing finger with the bone. So he turns around, he walks up to the war chest, kneels down, and he looks at the keyhole. Is it big enough for the key? Let's roll 50-50. Does this work on the key on this chest? It does. 46. That's a strong yes. So he puts the key in, turns it, easy enough, easy as pie. It opens the um the chest opens. Let's see what he finds inside. We'll use the we'll use the items again. Go back to the book here. D100 for the type of item. There's a pile of stuff in here. 20. He finds tools. Oh, actually no, he finds pocket filler. So pocket filler is on this first page. Let's roll a D20. He finds a set of silverware. We'll ignore that. He also finds the following. 51 is going to be weapons. He finds weapons. Okay, so let's go to weapons. D20. Okay, what does he find as far as a weapon goes? 19. A longbow, which we have, so he ignores that. All right, we go back to he's going to look for a couple more things. All right, 73. Apparel. Interesting. Okay, so apparel is on page 53. All right, apparel. We're going to make one here. So this is a D20 with a couple of other Ds. D6. 19. Pale pink. Okay. Type. Let's see. Style. It's going to be 4. It's modest. Material. Wax cotton. Okay. So I'm thinking female clothes. Type. It's a dress. Yeah. So it's a female dress. The size of it is a D8. I'll just say it's medium size. So it's a woman's apparel. So he ignores that. And the last item he finds of interest, it's stuffed with everything else, but the last item he finds of interest, 30, is more tools. So let's go back to tools, and I think tools will be right here, D20, 9, a hammer. Hammer might come in handy, so he's going to take that. Okay, so that's enough of the book. It did its job. All right. So now he didn't clean out the fortress, but he closes it. He puts the lock back in, and he's gonna keep that skeleton key for now. He walked back around. He walks back around the table and up to this door. Now the door is the door locked. Let's roll 50-50 on that one. It is not locked. Okay, so he opens it and he's back and he notices he's back in the hallway. He was not too aware where he was. So he opens the door. It's a push door, and now he's back in the hallway of tiles that are missing. So that will be like this. It's just going to be this like that, and then it's just a T basically. He's right here at this door, and then the other door we went from earlier. This door was far more complicated. Put a spear in it, and it's obviously it was a route that was on the table. But this for some reason this room right here was pretty very casual. So there's tiles missing on the floor. There's missing tiles in certain places, and he doesn't have a torch. Remember, this room is very dark. So he's thinking about it. He's right here. He's gonna walk in, but he doesn't have experience of it now. So he wants to get over here. Let's give him because he's familiar with the area. We'll give him a roll, a dexterity roll, a lower 6 difficulty, and he rolled perfect ones. God dang it. 3, that'll be so that's 4. So he does fail. So he gets halfway through, and long and behold, those 2 spiders from earlier find him. They they crawl out of this hole right here, and they're right there behind him. Because he failed the roll, I'm gonna spawn the 2 prior spiders from behind. They attack him, so they get the initiative first. Surprise attack. So let's go to our attack list from earlier. We can keep the prior spiders because they didn't we didn't attack them. We fled. But because we rolled a failing dual ones. I have to put a problem in his way, an obstacle. So they're going to attack first. So his armor though is now 9, and they do manage to hit him. So that's 1 damage. Oh, let's do 2 rolls. I'm doing the Karen style. Yeah, so we'll use the 2 5s. So now he's back down to 6, where he belongs. Okay, and now it's his turn. He's going to attack Spider 1 with the attack bonus of +1, 6, 7. So he's going to use the spear. So 7 and then 8. So the difference between that 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 3 damage. So like an idiot, I put so this I'll use the pen. So the first spider's down to 1. So now they both attack again. It's their turn. The first spider rolls a 5, which is no good. The second spider rolls. Oh, okay, that's gonna be 11. That does hit. That does hit our friend. But it's 2 damage. So we take 2 damage. There's then the 4. Okay, that's a death by spider. That would suck. All right. So now it's our roll, and that is enough. So we have attack bonus of +1, and then plus another one. That's 2. So we're gonna finish off this one right here, like that. So that spider's out. Spider 1's gone. Now it's the spider 2. Attack. That's no good. It's our turn. That's enough to, I think, so +1 bonus, that's 4. That's 8 total. So 6, 7, 8. An additional damage of 4 from the spear. Oh, okay, yep, that kills the spider outright. So he gets lucky. That one's defeated, and that encounter's over. So those spiders that popped out of the hole conveniently are dead. DED dead. So they're done. And now he's at the halfway point of the hallway, like I mentioned earlier. So let's find the hallway. Here it is. So he's right here, and now he's gonna try to get to the doorway from that leads back to the fountain, or the statue of the golden wolf. So we'll roll for dexterity, +1. I will keep it at 6 for difficulty. Yeah, he does. No problem. 5, 2, that's 7, +2, that's 9. All right, so he gets into the main chamber from earlier. I will draw that for you guys. So this will be the main chamber. It's just a giant square with there's some torches on the walls, like that. some torches on the walls, and he's back in the entrance. There's a big golden, um, well, there was. There's a doorway here. That's a stairwell going back outside. He's literally almost home, or he's almost clear out of here. Remember, there's still all of this left of the dungeon unexplored, but he wants to get out of here. So he found what he needed. I think the claw was a thing he needed to find. It was a quest item. So the statue is gone for some reason, and it still has the bench here. From earlier, I think it did open up. I don't recall, but I'm going to say that it's closed now, and the markings of where that golden wolf, I think it was either silver or gold. The markings are the paws. There's markings, but it's gone. So he's right here, and the torches blow out as there's a gust of wind coming from the stairwell. The torches blow out, and it's solid. It's solid darkness now. The whole room is dark. And moments later, he hears like a he hears like a giant creature walking down the steps and appears right in front of him. It's the same wolf from earlier, solid white glow, slightly transparent, looking directly at the Watcher, who is behind that empty statue. So that's where I'm going to end this episode. He's face to face once again with the spirit wolf from a couple episodes ago. But all in all, I think this episode was fantastic. It was fun. We had some encounters. We did some exploration, and it was moderately difficult. Our watchers down to 4. We know that the wolf is not an enemy at currently or from before, so we'll see what happens in the next episode. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the episode.